I'm selling dreams now. That's essentially what I'm doing, right? I'm like, I'm a nobody and I want to be someone that has some kind of success. That's the dream that I'm selling. And here's how I'm going to do it. Here's this week's scheme. I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to, you know what I mean? Like, that's Casey Neistat, essentially, right? It's like, he's like, I'm a nobody, but I'm going to make something of myself by sheer determination and hard work. So I'm like, that's a dream that I can, that I can get behind. And that's what I'm selling now, right? That same dream. And so that's what I'm doing. And I start basically teaching people how to convert cars, because that's what I did. I wanted a Tesla early on, and I couldn't buy one because it was too early. So I was like, I'm just going to learn how to make one. So then I just, kind of started looking on the internet, made a Tesla base car. It's an electric bus, right? And so then I thought, the biggest thing to get is and the hardest thing to get is the battery. Because at that point, the batteries are super expensive. They're rare. Nobody knows these new lithium batteries, right? And so I started like doing experiments and then like getting batteries out of like laptop dead batteries, so extracting the cells, cleaning them, testing them, doing all that stuff. So I'm teaching people how to do that. I'm teaching people how to DIY. And then eventually what starts happening is that then people have access to batteries, are like, hey, I have a warehouse full of batteries. Do you want to help me sell them? And I'm like, yeah, we all want batteries. So then I started collecting commissions from them, right? So I would like promote their product, their batteries, and then those would sell. And then I would be like, okay, so, $100,000 worth of batteries sold. Okay, where's my cut? And then I would collect from that guy. And then other people were like, hey, well, I have a warehouse full of batteries too. Can you help me sell? And so then all of a sudden, I have these networker people that have product, and then at the same time I have this channel that's growing of all these people that need to consume this. Like, hey, I want to know how to make an emergency solar power pack, so that if I live in some island with a ton of like hurricanes or whatever, like storms, I need to have power. And so now I'm teaching people how to do that. And it's working for a while. I'm making money and stuff, right? And no employees and almost zero like overhead. I don't have to rent a place. I could do this from my house, right? I don't have to buy the stuff. It's just me and my little camera, and I'm uploading videos every day. It's working. But then, it's a small like market. I think maybe you're like, that market is sort of the same. It's a small market that easily gets saturated. Like you, right? If you make a product and you get some Chinese to copy it, very quickly everyone's going to know, because it's a small market. It's like there's only, 100,000 people, 200,000 people that are interested in skateboards and electric skateboards. And so if someone else is competing with you and they do a good job at advertising, then, you're kind of out of the loop. Everybody knows that you can get the product cheaper from somewhere else, right? So that's sort of what happens with me, because I'm advertising, I'm promoting all these guys full of batteries, and then all of a sudden they cut me out of the loop, because I'm like, what do we need you for? You're expensive. You want commissions? You're expensive. Get out of here. You're not doing that much work anyways. All you do is just make a video, and then, a bunch of stuff sells. So then that's why I was forced into starting my own thing. Now I'm like buying battery, bringing it in-house. I'm checking it. I'm testing it. And then now I'm selling it, and I'm making videos on how to use it. Or at least that's the plan. Right now I'm kind of stuck at just trying to run a company now with selling, physical products. I kind of know that it's not forever. I kind of just want to maximize that while this happens. And then eventually I want to get back to selling dreams. Because that just seems like it's a much better business to be in. It's like you don't need much, right? You just need passion, a little bit of brains, and a lot of determination, and then you can just do it. Set up a little channel, you start promoting yourself, you start doing this thing, and then so that's the business that I am in, and that's why I would kind of cross paths for a little bit, because I was so interested in what you were doing. I thought, like, you're starting out this business creating these little electric vehicles, right? And
Yeah, we're very similar in that regard. I mean, I would like to be able to spend more time making videos and making money doing that, but that's hard work as well, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of cost involved to get the right equipment, and then you got to work hard. Like, making one video, unless you just do a live broadcast, but if you're recording something, editing, and then uploading it into YouTube, that's not just a day's work. That's like a few days worth of work if you want to do it a good job. You know, unless you're staying up all night editing the day's footage just so you can upload it that night, you can maybe get a video out, but it's hard work.
And YouTube doesn't pay very well. I mean, unless you're like making, you know, you're getting millions of views, they're not paying you money, right? I was broke for 5 years, dude. Like, I was literally broke. And it wasn't until I was like, okay, that's it. I don't know. I hit critical mass like a year ago or something, where now I'm like, okay, now I'm making money. You know, it's like I have a little bit extra. I'm just scraping by every month, right? I'm making all these videos like every day. I'm doing that thing where I'm shooting. I'm trying to make my day as most exciting as I can. And then I'm staying up at night editing so that I can put it out the next day, because I can't put it out the next day, because the next day I'm out having fun trying to make right? So that's the cycle. And so, yeah, it's tough. It's not easy. You gotta love doing video, or else you're not gonna stick with it. And even if you love it, I'm kind of burnt out too, you know? It's like, I'm not making videos right now, and I'm like, I could be making a ton of content, but I'm just like, no, I'm waiting till the situation's perfect. I finish my shop. I do this other stuff. Yeah, it's hard, you know? So I think the best thing is just for you to have a few, like, things that you're doing at the same time. And
I mean, I think it all comes from, if you're naturally someone who's creative and wants to create things, you know, it's like me. I wanted to create electric skateboards, but I also want to create videos. When I was a young lad, I wanted to be a documentary filmmaker. I had my little, it was a little tape back then, High 8, or what it was called?
Yeah, like High 8 or Mini DV.
Mini DV, Mini DV. I had a little Panasonic Mini DV, and I used to make documentary films about my family, or if we ever went a trip somewhere, and I'd record that and try to make a little fun video. I used to love it. I mean, I don't know. Actually, I know what happened. The camera broke, and I had to send it away to be repaired, and then the people that repaired it were going to send it back to me, and the courier company stole it. So I lost my camera, and that was the end of my documentary film making career. But now I've got a YouTube channel with I think 20,000 subscribers, and I must admit, I'm not doing it frequently enough. I can see, if I upload videos every couple of days, like, I can see that there's people watching them and there's people subscribing. Like, I can see if I just dedicate myself to it, it would work. But, you know, I'm trying to get my new company up and running as well, and I'm trying to be a dad, and anyway,
it's hard.